Hello, and welcome to Stories from the View, a podcast from the Pleasant View Senior Center in East Longmeadow, Massachusetts. On this podcast, we invite East Longmeadow residents to tell us their stories about their lives and events. And today's guests are Shauna Dandy and Ruth Arnold of the Alzheimer's Association. Mary Jenowyn Kaplan is on assignment. She's our regular host. This week, it's Ed Fitzgerald. Hi, Ed.
Hi, Eric. Thank you. Welcome. It's good to have you here. We've talked a little bit already about this, generally the subject of Alzheimer's. And, I had shared that my wife had Alzheimer's, so I've been there with the early stages and not knowing what to do and where to go. And at the time lived in Connecticut, in Fairfield County, and there was an Alzheimer's office there that I got a tremendous amount of support from. So I'm looking forward to hearing what you have to say. So Shauna and Ruth. Shauna, would you like to start out?
Sure. Thank you so much for having us here today. So again, my name is Shauna Dandy. I am the walk manager for the Pioneer Valley and Berkshire Walk to End Alzheimer's. We're on behalf of the Alzheimer's Association for the Massachusetts and New Hampshire chapter. Our chapter office is based in Waltham, but I actually am a local hometown girl. So I live locally in Agawam and just started with the association about at the end of February. So my main job is to oversee the walk event, which is really a year-long process to plan the event. So the walk this year is on Sunday, October 15th at Holyoke Community College. I work with a group of volunteer committee members, and we put together, really everything that goes into the walk, raising, all of the funds and the teams, participants, sponsorships, planning all the logistics of Walk Day itself. So that's kind of mostly my role, but I work with, of course, a lot of other wonderful people with the Alzheimer's Association, which also provides so many other things to help anyone, that's facing an Alzheimer's or dementia diagnosis and their loved ones.
Mm-hmm. And so the walk takes place October 15th.
Correct.
In the location?
At Holyoke Community College.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, from a local perspective, Ruth.
Hi, thank you again for having us here. I'm Ruth Arnold, and I'm the liaison, I call myself, between East Longmeadow and the other two teams, the other two senior centers, Longmeadow and Hamden. We have joined together to form a tri-town team for the walk and to raise money for Alzheimer's. We have a lot of events planned, which I will talk about later, and we work directly with Shauna. She's been advertising our events also on her website, and I'm looking forward to October 15th.
Good. Let me just ask you this. Someone who is in a position where they have a loved one who they think might have Alzheimer's or is having some kind of cognitive issues, what does the Alzheimer's Association provide? What should they do? How can they get in touch with the Alzheimer's Association?
Absolutely. That's a great question. So the Alzheimer's Association has a whole variety of programs and services. So we have multiple pillars. I'm essentially part of our development pillar. So our job is to raise the funds that basically go to fund all of the things that the association does. But part of what they offer there's really so many things, but one of the things we're the most proud of is our 24/7 helpline. So the number for that, I'll try to slowly repeat it, but it's 1-800-272-3900. Again, 800-272-3900. That is basically going to get you to anyone at the association around the clock, literally 24/7. You could call Christmas morning at 8 o'clock, and someone will be there. We have master's level clinicians and all kinds of people that are trained to help anyone that is either in a crisis. If you're not in a crisis and you're just receiving a diagnosis and have no idea what to do, we're here. So you can literally call anytime and be connected with someone that can kind of talk you through resources and options. We can refer you to community resources on a local level. We also have a program called Dementia Care Coordination that's on the newer end, and that's also a program that the association is very proud of. We can connect you with essentially a dementia care consultant, and that's someone that will work with you, whether you're the person that's facing the diagnosis or your family, just the family, and that's somebody that you can kind of schedule a one-on-one consultation with, not only in the beginning, but it kind of is also something designed to track you throughout your diagnosis as well. So as things are ever changing, we're also here to support you in all those different phases. We also, of course, have support groups. We have, all other volunteers that volunteer with programs and services. We have a lot of education programs that we can put on throughout the local area, throughout, again, our whole chapter, really throughout the country. And all of this stuff is available at no cost, which I just want to stress is so important too. The 800 number, the programs, the support groups, there's no cost to do any of that, which is really, again, why the walk is so important, because we're raising all the funds to be able to still deliver all of that to anyone in need.
Gotcha. So the first step, if somebody's not sure, is to call that number, that
Correct.
800 number.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay? Because there's a lot of uncertainty at that point. What's going on?
Absolutely.
I'm not sure. A lot of stress. And by
Absolutely.
calling that number, they've taken the first step to get some help, to get some answers.
Right, absolutely.
And the care coordination, I can speak from experience, is very valuable, because once you've started to go down that path, there are resources out there. There are a lot of questions that you need answers to. And to have somebody who's there with you who has that experience, I think is very, very valuable.
Absolutely. And the support, Ruth.
Go ahead.
The support groups are great too. Again, I want to stress how important those are too. There's support groups for, those that have been diagnosed. There's support groups for any type of caregivers. So definitely lean on those as well. They're very important.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I can, again, speak from experience. It was tough to go to that first support group meeting. I resisted. I mean, initially didn't want to accept the fact that there was something wrong, but then to get into that first support group. And it's interesting because the first support group I went to, I ended up leaving because it wasn't quite right, quite the right fit. And then I went to a second one and it worked, and went to that one for a number of years. So support groups are very valuable.
Absolutely. And that's why I like to call the walk, I stole this from a different walk manager, but we call the walk the largest support group of the year. I mean, really,
good one.
The walk, I know I can't take full credit for that, but again,
great.
it's really just a great community event. But, you realize sometimes you're just kind of head down focused on, the day to day and getting through the day to day. But when you really go to an event like that, you really see there's a whole community of support. And not that you ever want anyone else to have to go through dementia, but there are people that do. So you might as well band together and kind of lean into each other and feel like you're not alone. So
Right. So signing up for the walk, it's important to join the team, right, Ruth? I mean, the
Yes, it is. Our team is the Tri-Town team. Tri-Town Walk to End Alzheimer's team, and you can go online. I don't know if people are, have access to that, but you certainly can go online. And there's information. I wanted to reiterate what she says. There's information about Alzheimer's and how, if you're really concerned, how you can get involved or how you can get information. We have at the East Long Meadow Senior Center, at the Hamden Senior Center, at the Long Meadow Senior Center, there is information galore about numbers to call, about, the 10 signs, all booklets and pamphlets about everything. Where there's information there, all you need to do is look, and you don't even need to talk to anybody. Just go in and grab a folder or something. But the Alzheimer's, if you go to, this is the website that you can join for the Pioneer Valley. It's act.org/Pioneer Valley. Oh, I forgot the ALZ.
Oh, that's
Did
okay.
act.alz.org/Pioneer Valley. And if you go there to register, go to the Tri-Town team. Our captain is Wendy Coles, and you can go look for the team, or you can look for captain, and you can go to and join the team. And we'll be happy to have you walk with us.
Great.
And hopefully we'll have T-shirts too for people that would like to walk.
And you got a good turnout for the last walk?
Yes, we did.
Yes,
We
good.
have pictures all over the place on
Yes.
Facebook. And,
Amazing.
and we raised, as a team last year, $11,620 for the Alzheimer's Association.
Wow.
Wonderful.
Which is
Everything-
amazing.
Everything we do, all our events and everything, which I can talk about later, all the money that we do goes directly to the Alzheimer's Association.
Now, if somebody is not able to walk, they can't make it that day, can they still?
They can
Donate?
They can still donate. They
Okay.
can still probably even get a T-shirt.
There we go.
So as long as
Sounds
they,
good.
as long as they donate. Also, there are a lot of people that aren't comfortable with computers. So we also have at all the centers, the senior centers, is a registration form that Shauna made up for us very nicely for the Tri-Town team. And all you have to do is fill this registration form out and give it to Alicia, and she will register you. So
Great.
if you're not computer savvy, you can do that also.
Very good.
All right?
Very good.
So,
I'll be there.
oh, good.
Wonderful.
Good.
So let me ask you a question about memory cafes. I've heard the term. I actually, with my wife, participated in something at the Alzheimer's Association. At that time, they didn't call it a memory cafe, but it was my wife and I and other couples, caregivers, and the person who had been diagnosed, who got together for 2 or 3 hours on a Friday afternoon and just socialized. Are there memory cafes around that you can tell us about?
Yes, so I'm still learning a little bit about that. I was just recently introduced to that concept myself. From my understanding, there's something separate that's done from the Alzheimer's Association, but there are some in the local area. So Ruth was mentioning Wendy Coles, who's the team captain of the Tri-Town Walk team. She's also the outreach coordinator at the Hampton Senior Center. So she, I believe, kind of started at least one of the local memory cafes.
I just realized I did see something about that at the Hamden
Yes.
Senior Center. Yes.
So
Okay.
they have a wonderful, wonderful memory cafe at Hampden Senior Center. And from what Wendy had kind of told me is there's a great deal of people that even come from surrounding towns to attend. I believe it is every Friday. As well. And it gets a great attendance, from, people with memory disorders. It doesn't even just have to be dementia or Alzheimer's. It could just be a traumatic brain injury or other type of memory
Good
impairment.
point. Okay.
So that is open to anyone. I know that there are some other towns in the area that I believe have also tried to replicate a memory cafe. And I know a few, I've gotten a lot of interest from that. And so I've been trying to connect really everyone that has had an interest to Wendy. So I think some other towns might be looking to start that more in the pilot phase, hopefully soon.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Good.
if I may interject,
Sure.
Wendy is so helpful. Anybody that's interested, Wendy will help you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, just that reminds me. There's something. I in fact met Wendy a couple of weeks ago, and there's something coming up in August. A fundraiser of some sort.
Oh yes. Would
Are
you
you-
like me to talk about
Yes, I
fundraising?
would.
Anyway, August 5th at 5:30 at night, the Hampden Senior Center is hosting the dinner dance. It's $30 per person. You can call the Senior Center at Hampden and register. It fills up fast, just so you know. And all the money, again, raised at that dance will go to Alzheimer's. It's an Alzheimer's fundraiser.
Wow. Nice.
And it's just a wonderful activity. Last year, I think they got about $4,000 just from the dinner dance for the Tri-Town team. So it's amazing. And again, if you want, I can give you numbers if you want to call to the Senior Center. It's 566-5588. That's the Hampden Senior Center. And you can ask about if there's any room left.
Okay. And the number again?
566-5588.
Okay.
Okay.
Ask for Wendy. Is there
No,
Wendy?
they will take care of
they'll
Sharon.
Okay.
Enjoy. Their receptionist will take your name and somebody
good.
from here just did 4 people there, and we're going, of course, and it's a wonderful evening. You get a beautiful meal. You get appetizers. You get free drink of wine or beer. You get or soda, and you get desserts, and you get it's wonderful, and then you get the band all night dancing and having fun and enjoying, and it's such a great party, and it's celebrating though Alzheimer's.
So they also have a raffle.
Oh,
that
yes.
they're going to do.
Yes.
Right.
They have a raffle at the dance, just buy a ticket, whatever. Plus, at the dance, we also start our big Alzheimer's raffle. And this year, oh my gosh, last year, I don't know, it was way over $1,000 we earned from that. It starts on that night at Hampden. And Hampden, Longmeadow, and East Longmeadow have donated big raffle prizes, and you can buy tickets there. It'll be they're laid out at the Hampden Senior Center, and it's I don't know, I think it's 6 for $5 tickets, and you put in where you want, whatever.
Nice.
But last year, I think, like I said, I think we earned way over $1,000. Wow. It'll be 2 weeks at Hampden Senior Center and 2 weeks at East Longmeadow. Oh, and then we'll have a drawing. So,
well, actually, that's how I met Wendy.
Oh,
I donated something for the raffle.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
So.
Yeah. So we have that. Would you like me to tell other things, or go ahead?
Sure. No, go on.
Okay.
Go on.
Well, the other big event coming up for raising money for the Tri-Town team is the trunk tag sale, and that's going to be at East Longmeadow on August 26th. You can buy a parking spot. You can either put your car in there, or you can put tables in there and sell whatever you'd like. The spots cost $25, which will go to Alzheimer's. But whatever you sell, is your own money. You can buy 2 spots for $40, and all that money goes to Alzheimer's. Rain date the 27th, and it's from 9 to 12 on the 26th on a Saturday, and that's going to be at East Longmeadow parking lot.
And you get to keep your earnings, right, of whatever you sell.
Whatever you sell. It's just the cost of the parking lot, the $25 or the $40, is what's going to Alzheimer's. It's an Alzheimer's fundraiser.
It is.
And, when people want to, especially during the summer now, and they're cleaning out. And then, excuse me, the last event is, that's at East Longmeadow. And then at Longmeadow, they're doing a fundraiser on August 31st, and they have 2 concerts. 1:30 is Jimmy Maz, M-A-Z-Z, and at 6 o'clock is Noah Liss, and the tickets, a donation is requested if you want to donate to Alzheimer's for $6 for one show or $10 for both shows. And you can, again, if you want more information, you can call the Longmeadow Adult Center, and they can give you an idea of that. Wonderful. So we have 3 big events for the tri-town, for the three towns.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, we don't know September. Something's in the works yet for September, but we'll see.
Okay.
So,
Good.
okay.
Good.
And we also have flowers that we made years past. I have a friend who's making flowers again if people would like them, and we'll have them on sale at the trunk sale also. So
Good. Good.
for Alzheimer's, everything goes directly to the Alzheimer's Association.
And we are so grateful. They really are just so fabulous with all of their fun. They put the fun in fundraising and do
Good.
some
That's
really
good. I like
great,
that.
really great events, that really just are useful for the local area, but it's also raising money for a great cause at the same time. So we're so grateful
Sure.
for the Tri-Town team.
Sure. So let's just switch back to something we actually have touched on before, and that's the initial, someone is in a situation where they aren't sure if they or their loved one has Alzheimer's. And they may be reluctant to call the Alzheimer's Association because, well, I really don't know. But that's okay.
Absolutely.
And I guess I bring this up again because I've run into those situations over the years now that I've been so heavily involved and meet people who are in a situation and they say, well, we're really not sure, but that's the time to make the call.
Absolutely.
And like I said, you don't have to talk to somebody or make a call. You can come in here. Nobody's asking you any questions. If you're afraid to, be out about it, you go and grab a brochure or go online. The alz.org, go online and do some searching and stuff and learn more about it. You don't have to, just get started.
Just get started. It's a good point. Just get started.
Yes.
Just get started.
Yeah.
Yes, and that's a great point about the website. I should have mentioned as well, but the Alzheimer's Association website is alz.org. So very simple, alz.org. If you're looking for our chapter specific website, it's alz.org, and then you're just going to add a slash and put MANH for Massachusetts, New Hampshire. And that's going to get you to our local chapter, which is going to just kind of hone in on all of the local resources. But the amount of information is endless. Anything on our upcoming education programs, support groups, what's happening in research, community resources, information on the walk. Everything is on there. So again, don't hesitate to use that as well.
Good. And you mentioned support groups. There is a local support group that's in Springfield, from what I understand.
I believe so.
Okay.
Yes.
But they can find out. Somebody can search
Absolutely.
and find the information.
Absolutely.
Contact. Okay. So let me ask you this. This is not kind of out of your area of expertise, I would imagine, but medication. There's a new medication for Alzheimer's. Can you speak to that?
Sure.
You can. Okay.
I can. Actually, I'm glad you
Good.
brought that up because it's something really exciting. This is such a historical, innovative, exciting time that there's finally progress that's showing, in the world of Alzheimer's and dementia. So I'm not probably a scientist. I can't give you all the correct lingo, but what I do know is it's a new medication called Leqembi, and it's an infusion treatment. It actually just received full FDA approval, which is the first time that has ever happened, which is amazing. So it was a huge barrier. We had received, I believe it was just some form of like a limited approval in the beginning. And the unfortunate part was that at first Medicare and Medicaid were not covering that. Again, also something that's happened for the first time that FDA approved it, but Medicare and Medicaid did not cover it. However, we just received full FDA approval, and now Medicare, I believe it's Medicare or Medicaid, it's one of them that has finally agreed to cover the treatment, which is
it's very
huge.
expensive.
Yes, it's very expensive. But the other thing is that this is really just one step kind of into that new era of treatment, but there are some other really exciting things coming through the pipeline. What just happened too with the Alzheimer's Association is they host an international conference once every year. It's an annual event. And basically what happened is all of the scientists and researchers from all over the world studying Alzheimer's and dementia, they convened together, and it was held in Amsterdam last week. So a few kind of highlights that came out of that. One of them is talking about some of the other medications and treatments that are in the pipeline. One is called, I believe it's pronounced donanemab, and that should hopefully be coming out. We're hoping like later this year, and the hope is obviously, fingers crossed, that FDA will cover that as well, and that's said to have an even higher efficacy rate than even Leqembi. So again, all this stuff is starting to happen. They're also working on developing a blood test that would be able to detect Alzheimer's,
Wow.
which is huge because
Early.
right, and early. And then also they just released some very informative county by county prevalence data, which is also one of the first times we received on a local level how much Alzheimer's and dementia is impacting each county in our local community. So for Hampden County, in the age group of adults 65 and older, there's an 11.8% rate that Alzheimer's and dementia is affecting 11.8% of that population. In Hampshire County, it's 10.2%, and in Franklin County, it's 9.5%. So as you can see, I mean, that's just in our backyard. That's not looking at statistics for the world or for the whole country. That's just literally what's happening in the Pioneer Valley. So the need is more urgent than ever to, again, address what's happening. So there is going to be a research and rally virtual session that the Alzheimer's Association is hosting. It is on Thursday, August 17th at 9 a.m. I can somehow get the information out about that. It's also on our website as well, but that's just something that our chapter office is basically going to pitch out to the public to kind of give the, more of the lingo and the highlights of that international conference.
Okay.
So if anyone wants to tune in for that, that's available as well.
Okay. But that's on the website. So if they go to the website, they'll get the information about
Yep,
when
our
to...
chapter specific website,
Gotcha.
but yes.
Gotcha.
I'm so glad you mentioned, I was going to say, this is worldwide. This is not just,
Sure.
here. It's
That's right.
worldwide, and there are people all over the world working on this.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you brought that in.
Absolutely.
So let me ask you this. Is there anything that we haven't covered that you think is important to mention at this point in time?
Good question.
Or any parting words that you think are important for our listeners to hear?
Get started. If you have any thoughts about helping someone or knowing someone or, everybody that I know has been affected by Alzheimer's in some way.
Yes.
And talk to people and encourage them and just get started.
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be a husband or a wife. It
no.
could be another relative, brother, sister,
neighbor.
There you go, neighbor. That's right.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
So that would be my...
Yeah,
Good.
absolutely. I completely
Sure.
agree. Alzheimer's and dementia, it doesn't discriminate against anyone. It doesn't matter what age you are, doesn't matter what race you are. I mean, it affects everyone, and that's why the association is here. Personally, my grandmother and my mom both had Alzheimer's, so as well as my aunt has a form of dementia as well. So it's affected my family a lot, and again, it doesn't matter what age you are. Most of them have been very young when they've been diagnosed,
Yes.
so it's a cause that I care a lot about. It's not something that I want to face in my lifetime. So that's why we're doing
Right,
all of this.
right.
So yeah, absolutely. Anything, any donation, great or small, any form of participation. I mean, it all counts. It all helps. So don't hesitate to participate.
Yeah.
We're here to help.
And that's why we're involved. I mean, my mother had what they call nowadays would be diagnosed as a vascular dementia.
Yeah.
But back
There we go.
then, we didn't
Okay.
know.
Right.
So, yeah.
Absolutely. And I think that's, I'm sorry,
Go ahead.
come out a little bit more over the years too. I mean, when my grandmother was diagnosed, no one talked about it. There was such a stigma around the diagnosis, and, it just wasn't discussed. There just wasn't as much information as there is now. But, when you I've gone to networking events, with crowds of like 60 plus people, and I'm running into 5-6 people that are telling me they have a personal connection. They know someone that has gone through it. So the numbers are astounding, and everyone's affected by it.
Right. Every time we have one of these events, somebody always comes up to me and tells me their story.
Yeah.
Everybody is affected.
So just to kind of wrap up here, I mean, maybe it'd be good to just remind people of where they go for the help, the 800 number, the website.
Yes, absolutely. So again, the 24/7 helpline for the Alzheimer's Association is 1-800-272-3900. Again, if you have questions day or night, it can be about the walk, it can be about anything. That's our helpline and our number to call. And then again, my name is Shauna Dandy. I'm the walk manager for the Pioneer Valley and Berkshire County walks. And I live locally. So my direct line is 617-393-2095. But my information's on the walk website as well. Sure.
Repeat that number.
Again, it's 617-393-2095. But we would love to have you, join us for the walk. It's, again, Sunday, October 15th at Holyoke Community College, and we'd love to have you.
And Ruth,
Yes.
our local representative.
Yes, again, please, if you want to sign up, remember we do have written sheets for the walk in each of the senior centers that you can, if you're not computer savvy, and if you want to go on the computer, I hope I can get this right this time. It is, if you go on the computer, act.alz.org/Pioneer Valley. Go to the Tri-Town team and register.
Very good. Or they could, maybe they'll see you here at the center from time to
sure.
time.
Oh,
Okay.
yes. Oh, yes. I'm
Good.
always here selling something or promoting something or,
Very good.
whatever. And we have so much information out there. They can
Good.
pick up information at any
Good.
time. And
Good.
don't forget the alz.org. That's the
There we go.
Alzheimer's
Good way.
website. Go there. It's
way.
full of information.
Very
or the
good.
local one, the
Yes.
Mass and New Hampshire one.
Yes.
And again, I'll stress too, it's free to register as well. There's no cost. I mean, of course, it's a fundraising event. We would love if you fundraise, but it is free. So there's no cost associated with signing
No,
up.
we raise the funds. Our team is raising the funds. So all you have to do is register and walk with us.
Sounds good. I'll be there.
Good.
Wonderful.
Well, thank you so much for being here with us. It's all such good information.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Eric?
All right. Well, thanks, everyone. Great episode. That wraps up another episode of Stories from the View. We'd like to thank our guests, Shauna Dandy and Ruth Arnold from the Alzheimer's Association. The Stories from the View podcast is available on the LCAT 01028 channel on YouTube and on Spotify. If you have a story you'd like to share on the program, contact Pleasant View Senior Center Director Erin Kobler by stopping by the Pleasant View Senior Center. You can call Erin as well at 413-525-5436, extension 1401, or you can send Erin an email at erin.kobler@eastlongmeadowma.gov. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time on Stories from the View.